The next step in building wooden shutters like this is cutting all of the material down to the proper width. Here I'm using my Delta Unisaw to rip down boards to the proper width according to the plan supplied by Rockler. The next step is cutting each of those pieces to the proper length, again following the plan. Here I'm using my miter saw, but you could also use your table saw to cross-cut each of these pieces to the proper length.
To make the shutters, you're going to have several components that you need to make. So the instructions call for both a bottom and a top rail assembly, and the top one has a rabbet taken out of it, so when the louver closes it can close flush to the other ones, and that rabbet's on the front side, whereas the bottom one, it's actually on the back side. Those can be done with a dado by running the piece through the table saw in two directions. Multiple ways you could do it. Both of these also call for a chamfered corner here, which you can see here. Again, I just did that on the miter saw, set up a stop block so that they all get cut the same. And then, so that's the top and bottom rails you'll be making. That's all made out of 5/4 stock. Then the rails for the shutters, these again are all specified the dimensions, so it's a piece of 5/4 ripped down, and then it has a simple beaded edge on it. Rockler supplied a router bit for that. Real easy, just set up your router. You can run it right along the top, take this out, or you can use a router table. So once you have those components made, there's one other piece, and it's the control arm. And again, they give you dimensions, and it's 1/2 inch by 5/8. Rip that out of some leftover material from the stiles and the rails. It has a little rounded end on it that fits into a keyhole at the top of the rail. So that's really it for fabricating the stiles and rails for the shutter system. So after you've ordered all your materials for the shutters, one of the things you're going to order from Rockler most likely are the louvers, and they're going to send them to you all packaged up like this. They will have cut them to a rough dimension slightly larger than what you're going to need, which is actually a good thing because they just cut them on a rough saw. The ends are all kind of rough and not very square. So you're going to want to take them apart and trim them to length on the miter saw, and get them all ready for drilling and putting together the shutters.